Hi, it's Mike Keenan from Keenan Fitness. We just released a video yesterday and we were amazed at the amount of phone calls we've received over the last 24 hours. I guess I kind of struck a nerve with regards to some of the activities that we do with regards to stretching and performance and strengthening and so forth. But most of the phone calls have not really dealt with performance. We thought that might be the biggest concern with people. How do I increase my drive, or how do I get more power in my swing and so forth? And that wasn't it at all. The biggest concern we've had is past medical history and injuries. I have a bad shoulder. I had a rotator cuff tear. I have low back pain. I have hip pain. I've had a knee replacement, and those sort of things. And how can I go about training without making these injuries worse? Or how do I get better? How do I get out of the pain that I'm in? And those are very, very good questions. And one of the things that you have to realize is that when you hit a golf ball, especially some of your longer irons or hitting a wood, the amount of force that you're putting into that shot equates to you lifting a weight that you could only lift 3 to 4 times. So it's a tremendous amount of torque and tension going through the joints of your body in a golf swing. And what we are going to do here is we're going to go through a progression of exercise. And I have 5 steps that I go through with regards to people and the progressions we take when doing an individualized exercise program. Now, if you're using the videos that are on the website, they tend to be a little more generic. I'll try to work around some shoulder issues. I'll talk about some low back things and so forth in future videos. But to kind of get this ball rolling and kind of get things started, we're going to divide them up into this series. So this is number 1 of this series. So let's talk a little bit about progressions real quick. Let's talk exercise, okay? What are we looking for with the specific exercises that we're going to be doing? Well, the first thing is they have to be pain-free, okay? I think that's a very, very important component. We are not going to make you worse. We're going to try to make you better. And we're going to work through, I should say, in whatever available range of motion you have. Now, as we get into the flexibility training and we start to improve balance and muscle length and so forth with dynamic stretching with the activities we do, you may start to see an increase in range of motion. A lot of times people say, wow, since you've been working on my hips, Mike, I can really start to make that turn a whole lot better. Or my low back isn't as tight anymore and I feel more free in bringing the club back on my backswing. Those kind of things. But initially in our progressions, we want to make sure that they're pain-free. Now, that does not mean you won't experience some temporary muscle fatigue or a little bit of delayed onset muscle soreness the next day. When I'm talking about pain-free, I'm talking about at that moment, as you lift your arm or bend your knee or whatever it is, it's a pain-free range of motion in whatever motion you have available to you. The second thing is closed kinetic chain versus open kinetic chain. Okay, golf is an activity where the legs are going through a closed kinetic chain where the arms are going through an open kinetic chain. And what does closed mean? Closed means basically your feet or your body part is in touch with the ground, or it could be a step or a bicycle pedal. In other words, there's a compression force holding the joint together. Okay, so a lot of times with that we have the use of the bony architecture, which makes the joint more stable, versus an open kinetic chain where my hands are actually in the air. They're not being placed against the ground, so we have to take those things into consideration as well. All right, and we want to train using the open chain versus the closed chain depending on what activity we're doing. C would be low level to increased levels of perceived exertion. It's not that I'm going to tell you that you're working hard or that you're working easy. You're going to tell me. What's your perceived level of exertion? How hard do you think you're working? I use that a lot in my cardiac rehab too. When I'm doing post-cardiac rehab, I want people to tell me, because ultimately you're the best barometer on how hard you're working. Okay? As most of you know, I work with my dad a lot. Okay, and we go back and forth, and he'll say, Mike, I really think we need to back off a little bit on this. And I respect that. So I'm always going to work within your perceived parameters. Next one is work to fatigue, but let's not avoid it, okay? And why is that so important? Well, we know from past videos that you have to get to a point of a little bit of breathless and burning. We want to go a little heavier and create some heat. And as we get on to some other videos, I'll go into what's happening physiologically in the body. But if you want to grow, if you want to increase your strength, increase your endurance, we need to get to the point where we're getting a little bit of the two B's and the two H's, the breathless and burning, the hot and the heavy. And we do want to work to fatigue. Remember, when we get that lactic acid buildup in the muscles, that's the key that unlocks the door to all the healing compounds, the growth hormone and testosterone, all the tissue repair hormones that are important to help you to get stronger and hopefully allow your work capacity to go up, so that if we can make you stronger, then the situations you encounter, the chances of you getting hurt are a whole lot less, and you'll have a lot more fun in the process. And the last thing, E, is functional exercises. You know, I've worked with enough golfers over the years, and we know what's fun, what's exciting, what makes people want to come back and exercise some more. So we try to mimic some of the exercises with regards to what we do on the actual golf course. So this is the first step in a numerous step process. We'll call this number 1 of our golf conditioning series. And these are the things I'm going to be coming to you and discussing. Now, if you have any questions, you can go ahead and email me at KeenanMedicalFitness@gmail.com. Give me a call at 732-292-1333. And if you forgot all that, just go to our website, which is www.KeenanMedicalFitness.com. Take care, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.